Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. Now if you want to watch the live version of this video, you can go to my Facebook page, NU Journeys Counselling. It won't be live obviously, but it will be the replay, and probably sometimes they have more details in. But I do like to make videos for my YouTube subscribers, so thank you all for subscribing to this channel. So what I want to talk about today is I've actually done a book review of this. You'll find it on this channel as well. But I want to talk about 6 elements or chapters from this book. Now, it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love by Richard and Chris Carlson. Now, this book is really interesting because it's got really small chapters. It's got 100 chapters in this book. All have got different aspects of how you can improve your relationship by not sweating the small stuff. And I've just taken 6 things. Some of it is going to be what I've read in the book, and some of it is going to be my own take on things. So the first thing they talk about is letting go of the past. So lots of people are in relationships where things have happened weeks ago, months ago, years ago, and they can't move forward. They can't focus on what's going on in the present or in the what to talk about for the future, because they're so preoccupied with the past. Now, if you stay in the past and remind someone of their past mistakes, it's just going to create challenge. It's not going to be beneficial for your relationship. There's no point to it. Someone can't go in the past and rewind what's happened. And this happens a lot with affairs. If someone's had an affair, people will say, let's leave it in the past. I still want to be with you. Let's move forward. But then every argument that comes up, they're going to throw the fact, well, I can't move forward because you had that affair. Or every time you go to this place, I think you're still going to go and have another affair. I need to check your pockets of your belongings, and I need to have your password to your phone. And it's all used based on what's happened in the past. And the issue, what people will find is that when the relationship then breaks down, it's not going to be because of anything that's happening right now. It's going to be because of that reason. You're letting the past mistakes or the past issue affect you now. So there's no way of it surviving. The only way you can survive is to move forward or make a decision that what's happened in the past is too much. So you just have to leave. But you can't have it both ways. You can't be living in the present with someone but focusing on the past. So the book really says that relationships are challenging enough without bringing past issues in. So you need to let it go. You need to focus on what is going on right now. The second thing is to allow time for transitions. So you don't just wake up one day, go on one date, and then you end up getting married and that's it. It doesn't work like that. You go through periods, journeys in the relationship. So you need to allow yourself to mentally prepare for them, but also for you to get used to that. If when you were dating, you were in one position, once you become someone's fiance, it's the next level. So I'm not saying this happens with everyone anyway. You might stay as someone, you might never get married. Not everyone wants to get married. But the leap between that means that you know that eventually you're going to get married. So it's a different level. For some people, the pressure of becoming a wife or a husband can impact on the relationship so much because they're putting the anxiety, the pressure, the fears, the worries. They have to be perfect. I have to earn more money. I have to make sure we're living in this house. I have to make sure I do this right. And it's not all of it is like in your head. Sometimes you're not giving yourself enough time to adjust to becoming a married couple. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're not thinking about how you were when you were dating, what led up to it, the fact that you are compatible. You're just focusing on, well, now that we're in this position, things are going to just be worse. So a lot of times when things go wrong, so someone might be together for 10 years and then they get married and then the marriage ends within 6 months. It's a lot of times it's because you're putting that pressure on yourself that things have to be completely different. Things might have been fine as they were. You wouldn't have lasted that long if things were not right. So give yourself time and be patient. Be patient enough to allow things to transition. The third thing, and this is why a lot of people come for couples counselling, is fighting over stupid things. So in the book, it gives an example of a woman who started a fight because her husband put the towels in the wrong bathroom. So I'm guessing they were living in a house with lots of bathrooms. There was probably colour codes, you know, green goes in that one, blue in that one. to me, as I've said previously, I don't think it's about the towels. I think it's about other things. When we're upset about something and we can't say what the issue is that's upsetting us, we use any opportunity to kind of go crazy about other things, and it doesn't help because the person thinks, why is this person going completely crazy over some towels, when that's not really what it is. And if it is for that reason, then we have to check ourselves anyway, because if you're going to start an argument over something minor, then you need to be thinking, why? What's going on with me? What's the point of this? So what I want to say to people is, when you're bickering and just going on and on and on, it's really difficult for your partner. It's difficult for both of you in the relationship, because you're having to be on eggshells. And no one wants to be in a relationship where it's just about arguing, bickering, wondering when the next argument's going to be, wondering when this person's going to start nagging again. It's not fun. And that's, and relationships that are just based on the bickering are just you're going to end up just irritating each other. And it says here in the book, it's stressful to drag someone around who's always irritated. You feel the stress and the pressure of that because you feel like you can't do anything right, but you also feel like, I can't please them, I can't make them happy. And no one wants to feel like that in a relationship. You're going to end up leaving because you're going to think, what's the point? I'm giving up. So number 4 is stop wishing that the person was different. When we love someone, it can be tempting to fall into the trap of wanting someone to be slightly better. When they're not, we remain dissatisfied. So it says in the book that what if you chose to love the person the way they are? Instead of all these things where people say, I got with this person because they had the potential to become better, or I'm with this person now but they're going to have to change, or I love you but if you did this then it would be better. I wish you were more romantic. I wish you worked less. I wish you did this. It's just pointless. It's pointless because the person isn't like that now. You've got to deal with people how they are right now at that moment. It's the same as the first bit about looking in the past. If you married a criminal or a drug dealer and you knew that's what they were when you married them, or at the time that's what they were doing, you can't then turn around later on and say, you're just a drug dealer, or I wish you would get a straight job, or blah. You should have discussed that before you married them, or you shouldn't have chosen them in the first place. You don't need to choose them. But if you choose someone it could be whether someone's got an addiction, whether someone isn't romantic and they've never been someone to say I love you. It could be someone who's involved in certain criminal behaviour. If you already know that at the time, or if you find that out later on, you can walk away. Instead of telling them to change, because they might not want to, but also they might be happy with how they are, you can easily just walk away and that's the end. You don't have to deal with them anymore. But hoping that they're going to become someone later, to me, that's to do with you as a person. I'm not going to, if I meet someone today and how I meet them, and then as I get to know them over the months, and I decide I want to be in a relationship with them, then it's going to be based on who they are now, not if they're in law school and maybe in 10 years they'll become a lawyer, because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not basing things on the future, I'm basing it on the current situation. So stop wishing for someone to be different. Take responsibility as a person that you don't have to choose them. Let someone else choose them if you're not happy with them. And the 5th one is to stay playful. So you need fun in the relationships, you need jokes, banter, you need the silly stuff. Relationships are intense. I know, I've been single for a while now, but I've been in relationships since I was 17, all the way up through my 30s. And early 40s. You need that fun. Relationships can be intense. You're with the same person all the time. You've got to stay on the same energy as them. You've got to agree with things. I think relationships are so hard work. So much hard work. It's a wonder that the amount of them last as they are. They do. So bring some fun in. I was giving an example in the video I did on my live stream with someone I dated, where we was in long distance relationship. I was Birmingham, he was London. We used to text each other, I love you more than I used to say I love you more than Essex girl loves her tan. He would say I love you more than this, and we would do that for like hours, just texting each other silly things. We would talk about ice cream flavours that we've tried. There would be role play. I won't go into detail, but there's just lots of things like that. Bring the fun into the relationship. Who doesn't want to be around fun? Who doesn't want fun in their life? So if you can be that fun person, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your kids, it just makes life a bit easier. It makes life a bit more enjoyable. Who wants to be around someone who's constantly pessimistic, nagging, moaning, bickering, fighting, bringing up the past, complaining? It just, you know, and this is the reason why a lot of people not only come for couples counselling, where the counsellor can actually look at it from not judging them, but look at it from an objective perspective, but also why lots of relationships end, because people just have enough. They're saying, do you know what, I can just go and find someone else where I can have that fun with. But I'm not saying that's the solution, because giving up in your relationship to go and find something else just means you're going to just keep giving up and moving on. Just bring some fun in, just do something silly one day, you know, that your partner isn't expecting. And the sixth and final thing is to become a low maintenance partner. Instead of being demanding, needy, requiring lots of attention, make your relationship like a sanctuary, make it loving, make it relaxing. Try and imagine and picture your partner coming home from work. You've got the candles, you've got food, you can put the TV on and they can just relax. You know, don't be this person that says, well, we've got to go out every night and we've got to do this and we've got to go to this restaurant and we've got to go clubbing and we've got to go to this activity and I want 5 holidays a year and I want 5-star hotels and I want us to travel in style here and I want this bag and I want that. These types of people, they do exist, and the thing is there are men that cater to them, and it could be the other way around, women that cater to them. High maintenance people, obviously they're filling a need somewhere because they're getting what they want. You know, there's this whole boom of sugar daddies and they're paying for these women to be flown around the world, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not judging anyone for it, but eventually something's going to give, because if someone is just needy, taking, wanting, grabbing attention, being demanding, eventually you're just going to feel like, well, forget this. You know, why should I be going through all of this? They're not kind or loving towards me. They're always asking for things. And also the affection tends to go in these types of relationships, because you don't feel that you can be intimate with someone when they're constantly just barking and moaning and demanding and just wanting things, and it's all me, 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 and being selfish. You don't feel like you're getting anything. So if you want your relationship to succeed, then just don't sweat the small stuff. You know, as I've said, 100 chapters in this, but there's no like, there's no set rules for relationships. You know, the amount of relationships I've been in, I can't say that this rule would work or that wouldn't, because we're human beings, we're all different. So the main thing is work as a team. Don't see your partner as your competition. See them as being, we're united. When issues crop up, think of the compromise, think of what we can do to solve this, not I have to win this. And you'll be fine. I think we make relationships too complicated because we introduce lots of things which don't need to be there. We're listening to other people that are not supportive of our relationship. We're wanting things, we're being selfish, we're finding outside factors, whether it's affairs, whether it's lots of things, we're not doing enough together. We're losing the intimacy because, you know, to me, a relationship without sex is near enough it's on a time, what's it called? It's a waiting time bomb. It's going to end eventually, because you might as well say it's your friend, you know, not someone that the whole difference between a relationship is that it's not a friendship. You know, you've got to have intimacy, and I'm not even just talking about sex, I'm talking about affection. When you see couples where there's just no affection, you know, not even a gentle stroke, you know, or whatever it is, no holding hands, nothing. And I don't know, it just seems bizarre to me, because that's at the top for me. Not at the top, it's just up there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please leave your comments. I love to hear what you've got to say. Are there any things you would add to this list? And if you are someone that feels you want this book, this is the book again. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love by Richard and Chris Carlson. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.